Tom, guys, and welcome back to 20 Pages. We just finished The Law of Attraction by Michael J. Losier. If you haven't checked it out already, go check out the series. I put it in a playlist so you can easily watch all the videos just in one go. Other than that, I want to talk about the next book and what we're doing, and we're going to get into it. So the next book that we're going to be doing is Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It. Excellent book. I love it. Can't wait to actually finish this whole series because it's amazing. It's super useful whenever you're self-branding. But I want to give some little insight. I did mention on Facebook and on Instagram what led me to this book. Oddly enough, I shouldn't say oddly because it is literally the law, but the Law of Attraction led me to Gary Vaynerchuk's book because I always had the interest of having my own brand, my own business. But the problem was I never knew how. I never knew what to do. I simply didn't even know where to begin. But after reading Michael J. Losier's book, Law of Attraction, I started getting some sort of attraction towards that idea of having my own business, my own brand. And ultimately, it led me to crushing it. I was brought upon crushing it through some social media influencers that I follow, and I saw it on multiple platforms, and I was like, all right, I keep seeing this book. I think it's time for me to read it. I think the universe is telling me something, and that's exactly what it was. The Law of Attraction was doing its work and telling me what to do. So I started doing it, I started reading it, and I think this is an excellent book to start touching upon, and I think we should jump right into it. So, going on to the first point, Crush It is actually the prequel of Crushing It. The thing is, with this, unfortunately, I did not read Crush It, not yet. I do plan on doing that because it seems like there's a lot of information in that book too that could be super helpful for building your own brand. But after reading Crushing It, I kind of have a general premise of what that book was, and it seems like it's just tools and methods to apply to your branding, to your business. And what Crushing It is, essentially the sequel, Crushing It, what it is that a lot of these people, a lot of these individuals that have their own brands now, they took advantage of the tools that Gary Vaynerchuk included in Crush It, the prequel, and they started using it towards their brands, and now they've cultivated a large following. They started pursuing their dreams. They started pursuing their passion, and they're making a living out of it. And I think that is incredible, and it's so motivating. And that is why I think Crushing It is a great start, especially because it kind of relates to my situation about how I'm passionate about business and having my own business of my own brand, my own following, and the Law of Attraction led me straight to it. So I think Crushing It is an excellent way to start the next series. So going right into it, actually, so going to the second point, the legitimate second point, power of social media. The power of social media is incredibly strong. You can literally get a word out like through so many people now. As you see with memes and whatnot, any articles, someone's gone missing, something like that, these start spreading like wildfire through social media, and you can see the powerfulness of how strong social media posts could be. But for example, let's look at some businesses like Hershey's, Microsoft, Wendy's. Look at these companies. They have their own social media presence, and there's a reason for that. Their sales reps or whoever is representing the company, they can't necessarily be face-to-face every day with their customers. So, social media allows them to still interact with their customers on a daily basis, figure out what their needs are, figure out what their wants are, and work from there. They still get feedback from customers almost instantly, and it really benefits businesses. It starts fueling these businesses because of how strong social media is. And now on top of that, too, you can also see how strong or what you can get good feedback from your customers because of social media. And another point too with the powerfulness of social media is you can start building your own brand super easy. I shouldn't say super easy, but it's a lot easier than how it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, you have to go door to door, you have to go start meeting people, you have to start building a following that way, and that takes up a lot of time. And you have to start meeting the right people too. In social media, literally, you kind of sometimes walk right into those people. Well, I shouldn't say walk, you don't physically walk, but a lot of these people just end up in your life because they see what you're doing and it fits what they follow. Going on to the subcategories of the powerfulness of social media, we have, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, Louie Blaka. This is there's a little story in here about him, and this little excerpt points out that he was, and I'm going to go in the tense that the book says it in, because I don't think he's an art school teacher anymore, but he was an art school teacher at a high school, and he had a strong passion for art. He had a super strong passion for art, and he was, in fact, like a professional in it. He was selling his paintings, but he wasn't making a huge living off of it or anything like that. He didn't really make... He lifted off a little bit, but not like to an extent where he's like the next Picasso. So after reading Gary Vaynerchuk's first book, Crush It, he started applying the tools and methods in that book to his brand, to his business. And what he did is that he first off, he made his social media handles. He made an art page about him on Instagram, and he started posting about himself and what he's doing. And he started building traction that way. He started gathering his people's interests. And on top of that, people started wanting to do seminars with him. They started wanting to learn face-to-face with him. So he started hosting these seminars, and they started with about like 10 people. Probably a little less at first, but he started with about 10 people, and he progressively started growing. He eventually had an audience of 100 people. 10 to 100. That is insane. That is huge. So that kind of shows how powerful social media really is. And on top of that, now he instead of doing it only once a week, he's starting, at the time in the book, he started doing it 3 times a week with that kind of audience. And now, who knows? He's probably doing it almost on a daily basis. It's incredible to see how powerful social media is. And to show that you can seriously pursue your dreams and your passions. Look at these people, video gamers, for example. A lot of people knocked on video gamers that they're just wasting their time playing video games, which essentially it is sometimes. But some of these individuals started making a living off of it through Twitch TV or through YouTube, whatever. And it's insane because it's like you notice that you can seriously follow your passion now with social media. So I highly encourage you guys to follow your passion. Going on to the second point is show more than just your business. Whenever you're going to be branding your business, branding yourself, show more than just the business. Show more than the product you're selling. Show yourself. Yourself is the most important key aspect to the business because people want to know who's behind the business. You don't want to be just a picture of the logo. You want to show them who you are. There's a lot of people that actually have started to show themselves behind their business. For example, a great example, which I love this guy because he talks blood-colded truth and he's the man. Andy Frisella with First Form Supplements, and he also runs a podcast called the MFCEO Project, I should say. And man, he is stone cold with all his knowledge. I love it. He provides value like no other. And he shows more than just the businesses that he runs. He shows himself. He advertises himself, not necessarily his businesses, which I'm sure he does, but he primarily advertises himself and what he stands for. And because of that, he started gathering a huge following because they like him for him. And that's exactly the point. You want your followers to like you for you and not necessarily just the business that you run. Because they have a relationship with you and they're going to feel more compelled to buy your products or to follow whatever you're offering. Now going on to the next point is 3, use more than one platform. You want to use more than one platform because if you put all your eggs in one basket, you might luck out. For example, if I only did YouTube videos and I did not go on Facebook or Instagram, if YouTube died, I would lose all my followers. I don't know, they wouldn't even know where to reach me at or anything like that. And the reason why you want to have multiple platforms is so they can reach you at multiple levels. And you can advertise in different kind of forms. And that's exactly the key, because some followers like Instagram more, some like YouTube more, some like Facebook more, some like Snapchat. Whatever it is, you want to build a huge following in different platforms so everyone can follow you on all these platforms and get to know you for you. That is all I have for you guys for the next 20 pages of the next series, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm going to include in the description where to buy his book, where to reach Gary Vaynerchuk, and also add Louie Blaka's Instagram handle so you guys can take a look at his artwork and start following him if you guys like art. Other than that, guys, take care. I love you guys. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. And please, subscribe on YouTube. I really appreciate it, guys. Your support is amazing. I love it. Take care, guys. Be awesome.